After seeing the Death Devil's real power, I'm convinced Chainsaw Man is hiding a major secret. Chainsaw Man has always made it a point to never feed fans too much information, until the very last page turn of its masterful public safety saga. Readers were left in shock, awe, and even confusion. Its follow-up, the slower-going and methodical Part 2, has kept its secrets even closer to the chest, refusing to allow fans even a moment where they might think know what's going on. However, one major piece was finally put into place with the reveal of the Death Devil. Chapter number 195 introduced a new student with those all-familiar horseman eyes to 4th East High School, and the entire fanbase was convinced they had just met the Death Devil. In true Chainsaw Man fashion, however, it turned out the newest character was actually the Famine Devil, and the Famy fans thought they knew was Death all along. The latest chapter number 199, Enjoy Your Food, finally put Famy Death's power on display, and just as it seemed questions were being answered, Chainsaw Man raised new ones. It's been established since the Falling Devil arc that the former Famy had the ability to summon high-ranking devils. The details surrounding the power were murky though, and didn't quite make sense until she was revealed to be Death. It isn't just a power that allows her to borrow the services of powerful devils. Instead, she must first eat that devil, after which they fall completely under her control. With help from Falling, she was able to do just that with the real Famy and fake Chainsaw Man, adding to her collection of pawns. This latest reveal makes her true ability far more terrifying than anyone previously thought, as the devils under her control aren't actually operating on their own accord, similar to Makima's power in Part 1. Though all these revelations answer long-standing questions about Part 2 and where its narrative is headed, it also raises questions about other past developments. Questions that suggest Chainsaw Man is hiding something. Another devil whose main ability has to do with eating is Pochita, the most important devil in the series. Makima was obsessed with Chainsaw Man. Yoru wants nothing more than to kill him, which leads to the question, what does the Death Devil want from Pochita? Considering he can erase devils by eating them, his power seems more in line with the concept of death than anything else. They might be connected in a similar way to Yoru's children and her children, the Gun and Tank Devils. Chainsaw Man being born from death would be one of the biggest twists in the series thus far, and it isn't all that unlikely. Her earrings are strikingly similar to Pochita's starter, and fans familiar with Tatsuki Fujimoto's manga will know that nothing he writes in his stories is coincidence. Furthermore, a subtle and incredibly intriguing fact is that Famy Death has never spoken to Denji directly throughout the entirety of Part 2. They've been in each other's company for a large portion of the series' previous 2 arcs, and when Denji asked her how she knew so much about him, her stomach growled before she could answer. When sitting next to Denji in the restaurant following the Aging Devil arc, she didn't speak aside from ordering the same thing he did. It's possible she's harboring an obsession for Chainsaw Man like Makima was, and has other mysterious intentions for Denji. All signs point towards a connection between the two, but there just currently isn't enough to work on to know. Just before the chaos of the Aging Devil arc began, Nayuta was killed rather suddenly and served on a platter at the sushi restaurant. Fans held out hope that she was able to survive somehow, though the character information page in Chainsaw Man's latest volume confirmed she didn't make it through the previous arc. However, now that the Death Devil has been shown to gain control over the devils she eats, it's possible she devoured Nayuta's head while Pochita and was busy erasing devils. In some capacity, this would lead to Nayuta's return, though strictly under the control of the Death Devil. Yoru mentioned that Denji would be able to see his kinda friend, kinda little sister once the final horseman descended, though she would no longer be the control devil he knew. If Nayuta is in fact under Death's control, this sentiment would be true, though not in the way Denji nor the fans had hoped. Unfortunately, she may just have to fight against her own family whenever the time comes. Horsemen of the apocalypse are running rampant through the streets of Tokyo. Fake chainsaw men are mindlessly attacking innocent people, and at the center of it all is a boy who happened to be best friends with a chainsaw dog. Everything the series is building towards is far off of Denji's radar, and so large in scale that there's little he can do to interfere, despite being immortal. Wherever Chainsaw Man is going, it doesn't look good.